and welcome back to another off-the-cuff video. I'm Highlander, this is JT. Today we're going to be doing our Call of Duty League pick'ems for the Major 5 tournament. JT, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Feeling good, you know, hopefully we have luck on our side for this bracket.
We're going to need it.
I mean, I feel like this is the hardest of all the majors so far.
100%.
So, good luck to both of us.
Yeah, for sure. And just like Highlander said, hardest of the year for sure in the case of teams who are good, not performing in the qualifiers, teams that are not teams that have not been great performing well. 6 teams being at 3-2. Who knows what's going to happen there? But without further ado, let's jump over to the bracket side of things and take a look at the matches. So, you got Optic versus Florida, Boston versus Minnesota, Atlanta versus Vegas, and Toronto versus New York in the winners round 1. And I say let's just go top to bottom here. Let's not worry about times this time like we did last time. That was a little confusing. So starting it off, I'll start us off here. Optic Texas versus the Florida Mutineers. And this might be a little bit of a weird one, but I've got Florida taking this in a 3-2.
Oh, okay.
I do. I think that they have showed up, even though they got beat by Optic. I think they're going to take that. They're going to work it. I mean, Optic has been having their way with Florida recently, and I think they're going to get a little complacent against them. First match. I mean, I'm fully prepared for Optic to just smoke them as well and move on, but this is going to be my first little hot take here. And yeah, that's going to be how that goes. So, Highlander, give me your take on this match.
I feel like Optic needs to do something here in this tournament a little bit.
They do.
I feel like this is a very much prove themselves situation.
Yes.
They've come second now. How many times?
Back-to-back majors.
I feel like this is something that they just need to come out hot. I think they 3-1 the Mutineers.
3-1 the Mutineers. That's a formidable and solid line there. Probably what I would have gone if I didn't make a hot take. But I
think Florida takes the search and then Optic just outslays.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Florida has this new thing going on. I don't know. Havoc benching himself probably was the best thing for the team. I'll say it. I mean, he just wasn't there mentally, and hopefully he can get better and come back because he was a fantastic player. But the squad has looked really good. They've been vibing and clicking, and I think that they can upset a lot of people here at this major. So keep it going with Boston and Minnesota, Highlander. Keep it going there.
This one was one of those ones that was like a toss-up for me. Minnesota has definitely changed up their the way they've looked. With Attach coming back now, that's exciting to see.
It is.
Boston is kind of. I feel like Boston's continued to stay in the mid position though, but I really do feel like this is going to be one where Beans is going to take over this series. I'm making this prediction now, and Beans will be the reason why Boston 3-2s Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I like that prediction. Myself, I also have Boston taking this. I think it's going to be a 3-1. I think Minnesota have had a nice little reunion, sort of, if you will, but I think they're going to falter under the bright lights of Major 5. So I think they're going to drop down here into the losers, and hopefully they can keep going from there. Who knows? We'll find out how Highlander and I see it pretty soon. But winners round 1. First match of the day is actually Atlanta versus Vegas. What a banger matchup this is. Yeah. Once again, matches start Thursday, May 25th at 1:30 p.m. So make sure you tune in for that. If you're watching this on Thursday, it's in a couple hours. So Atlanta versus Vegas. I mean, 3-0 Atlanta. I don't think that's too off the cards. I mean, Vegas has turned things around a little bit, but I just they don't show up to lands. They don't, and they haven't. If Major 4 was any indication of how they do on LAN, I feel like they're going to get overwhelmed, especially in this first winners round. Anyway, Highlander, how do you see it?
Honestly, this is the easiest one for me in the first round.
Okay.
And I have the same thing, phase 3-0.
3-0. Yeah.
I just feel it's phase
Mm-hmm.
out of LAN. We know how the Tiny Terrors do.
Yeah.
FaZe has been one of those teams that has had success but struggled at the same time.
Yes.
I just don't see FaZe going to the loser bracket right off the rip to Vegas.
Right. And I mean, I think FaZe has I think they have some proving to do of themselves. I mean, they're still in first place in the league, which I mean, it's crazy to say that they have some proving to do. But I mean, they can bleed. They've looked not as dominant as we have come to know FaZe this year. I mean,
they've won a major, have they?
They have Major 2. They won Major 2.
Yeah, they did win.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, they haven't really been the dominant FaZe that we remember them. I mean, they weren't really dominant in Vanguard either, but I don't know. There's been a lot of talk about, Slasher coming in and not being that guy for them on the AR role. Who knows? But I think Atlanta have something to prove here, even though they are sitting at first place. Yeah, but keep us going, Toronto and New York, Highlander.
Ooh,
what a game this is.
This one, I'm going to say it now. Mm-hmm. This is going to be the match of the day.
Yeah.
Right here. Again, I got to go with what I feel just LAN-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go with Toronto on LAN 3-2.
Yeah.
Just because Toronto, I don't know. They're different online to on LAN.
That's
on
true.
LAN, they love to just start off hot. I think Toronto comes out, knocks New York into the loser bracket, continues on.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's hard for me too, because as well as Toronto does on LAN, I think New York has sort of hit a new stride this major. I think they're starting to figure things out. And for that, I'm going to say a 3-1 for New York.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-1 for New York. But this all depends on Hydra, honestly. I mean, if Hydra can come out and continue the dominance he has this major, then yes, he is literally their X factor. If he doesn't hit his level, then they lose. I mean, especially in Search and Destroy, the amount of 1v whatevers that other teams clutch against them, it's always when Hydra is not alive. And yeah, so they need Hydra to go absolutely wild, massive here. This entire major, honestly, to make a deep run. But I think they're gonna do it this first round. So yeah, scrolling down here to elimination round 1. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
I have Optic versus LA. Elimination round 1.
Yeah, that's
and I think this is in my reality where I have completely screwed myself off the bat. I think this was the final last major. I think this is the last team that LA wants to see come down, honestly. And I think it's a hot 3-0, and I think LA is done. They're done. If this was to transpire. So yeah, I've got 3-0 Optic here. Maybe 3-1. I don't know. I think they'll be really mad about losing to Florida, and they'll just come out and they'll sweep the Thieves. Tough luck for the Thieves. 1-4 getting first rounded in my universe. Yeah. So Highlander, you have Florida versus LAT.
I think because of the way I have it around here.
Yeah.
I think Florida losing to Optic is gonna be in their heads a little bit. The Thieves 1-4 on qualifying for this is not going to make them too happy.
No,
they're going to go into this match, in my opinion, on LAN, and they're going to show why they won last tournament with a nice little 3-1.
They do show up on LAN, they do, which is scary for my prediction because LAT could easily show up for that first losers round against Optic and smoke them the way they did in the final of the last major.
Once LA gets in that hot seat of feeling good.
Yeah.
They ride that the whole way.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So keep us going there. Minnesota versus London.
Minnesota versus London. I think this is another one of those ones that, London, thanks for coming, but you shouldn't even shown up. This should just be a FF. Just move on to the next one. Minnesota 3-0.
Yep. I have that same match here, and I have the same outcome, Minnesota 3-0. Not much
feel
to say.
bad in a way.
No, free Asim, free Nasty. The other two are terrible. I mean,
London-
Asim isn't that great. Honestly, just free Nasty because he is actually nasty. Yeah, anyway. So, last two rounds or matches of the elimination round one, Vegas versus Surge on my screen. I think you have the same. Vegas versus Surge. And this is interesting because Surge also 1-4 this season or this stage, and I honestly think this season is done for them. I don't think they make. Oh gosh, I don't. I don't think that they make champs, and this is why. Because Vegas is going to come out, and it's going to be a close 3-2, and Vegas is going to come away with the victory, and Seattle's going home 1-4. You're done. And Pred says, "All right, where am I going to next year?" And Sib says, "Where am I going to next year?" Unless Sib stays and becomes the face franchise, who knows? I don't know.
Pred is definitely leaving. I think we all can. I mean, as of right now, it's one of those things where if Optic is really good at this tournament, and end at champs as well.
Yep.
I don't know if Optic does go and get Pred.
They might
but then
not.
There's other teams that could take him, like FaZe.
Yep.
FaZe might want to come in there and grab him. And I mean, Pred, a part of the Tiny Terrors, would be scary, to be honest.
Even with just the vibe of Optic, I still think even if they don't do well this next two tournaments, I still don't think they're going to drop Hook. I don't know why. I think Hook's his quality of life has changed since he rejoined Optic, and he has been such a fun guy in that team. In the building, in the offices, he is always the guy that people are laughing at and having fun with, and I mean, he is locked in every single match he plays. I mean, if you see his face, he is just stone cold Steve Austin, literally. Even when they win, he's just like, okay, what next? And that's it. So I think they love that. I think they love that out of him, and I honestly think that Surge, they lose Pred, and I think Atlanta is going to pick him up this offseason.
Yeah.
And that's scary for the CDL.
The next season, I feel like that's just going to be a FaZe destruction
blowout. It's going to be just like Cold War. Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, what do you got? You also have Vegas versus Seattle.
I have Vegas doing the same thing, 3-2.
3-2.
I just feel like a lot of Seattle just hasn't shown up a lot.
No.
They've been leaving Pred out to dry. I mean, and the thing is, I'm not the only one saying this. I've seen this on, Twitter and all this stuff of people just saying someone's got to help Pred.
Free Pred.
Like when Pred is going off, and then you see like one of his teammates double negative, running, just sprinting into death.
Yep.
It's just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is Vegas goes on. Surge is out. We'll see you next year. And then moving on to the Subliners Gorillas is what I have as my next one. I feel like this is another one of those ones that could be a toss up of anything can really happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like this would be the one where I think Hydra comes in angry after, getting knocked down. And I think it's a 3-1 for New York.
3-1 for New York. That makes sense. I mean, LAG, they just looked completely lackluster. I mean, honestly, since the news that their org is just going away,
I mean, what do you do with that kind of information?
You just keep playing as much as you can and see what happens. I mean, you're fighting for your spot in the CDL at this point, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Unfortunately, they're definitely out of the champs contention. There's no way, especially facing Toronto. For me, I got them facing Toronto.
That's even worse.
Toronto is going to come out swift 3-0, and they're going to get back on track for this major. So let's continue on with the elimination round 2, and then we'll move on to the winners round 2. So for me, first match I have going at the top here, I've got Optic versus Minnesota. And this is going to be tough because Minnesota has looked so good. I think with their win in elimination round 1, I think they still probably clinch champs, maybe, and they might pass. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work because Surge is above them, and then they're in the 8th spot, and then Vegas is right below them in the 9th spot, and I'm not sure if this is enough to sway them. It might. So I think Minnesota stays, and I think Vegas comes up, and Surge gets knocked out of champs. But Optic is going to be 3-1 over Minnesota, and they're going to be gone. So that's what's going to happen in my book. Highlander?
I have Thieves, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I feel like once the Thieves get that ball rolling, I think Minnesota is a team that they can also get a win against.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with a 3-2. 3-2 LA Thieves.
Okay. Nice. And yeah.
And then I have Vegas versus New York.
Mm-hmm.
This one, as much as I think this would be a toss-up, I have New York winning this 3-0.
Oh, 3-0. Just a hot 3-0.
I feel like New York is just going to come in and just, they're just going to feel it.
Wow. I like that. That's a bold. That's not really bold, actually. It's really not. I mean, with how New York has been playing this stage.
At this point, New York probably won't even be in the loser bracket.
Finding their mojo.
Later.
Yeah. Maybe. You never know. So for me, I've got Vegas versus Toronto in this spot. And this one's kind of tough. It all depends on what Vegas we get. But honestly, like I said, in their winners round, they don't really show up to land that well. And Toronto does. So I'm gonna say a 3-1 for Toronto. And we're gonna move on at that. Vegas goes home, but I still believe that they would clinch that spot, like I said. So good news for them. Up here to winners round 2. Let's move on here. And I have Florida Mutineers versus Boston Breach up here.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
And this is a grade A bang out of a match right here. Two squads that can get really hot at the same time. And I say Boston is going to take this in a 3-2 fashion. It's a toss-up. It honestly is. I'm not sure why I'm picking Boston in a 3-2, but it feels right, and that's what I'm going with. So, Highlander, what about your winners round 2 matchup?
I have Optic versus Boston here.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the Green Wall, I guess you could say.
Yep, for sure.
But sadly, I think the Optic Green Wall is just going to be too much in a 3-1 fashion for Optic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I then have FaZe versus Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
This one I feel like could be a really good matchup if this sets up. Again, FaZe is one of those teams that they're almost always here.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, they show up at LAN. This is going to go to the distance to that game 5.
Ooh.
Where I say FaZe does it.
FaZe does it. Okay, they're showing up on this major.
Mm.
I like that. I thought you were going to say Toronto there. I really did. I really thought.
I was going to, but something's just, my gut's just telling me FaZe.
Yeah. Anyway, so for me, I have Atlanta versus Subliners in this spot. And I'm going to keep going a little risky. I think Hydra continues his dominance here, and FaZe can't keep up. It's going to be a 3-2, which is risky because Subliners aren't very good at S&D, and Atlanta is good at S&D. So I don't know how they're going to get that Game 5 win, but
anything can happen, though.
Anything could happen, yeah. And FaZe is looking susceptible, so maybe it's in their head, maybe it's not. I don't know. But that leaves me. Oh my goodness, elimination round 3.
It gets so much worse.
That leaves me with a Atlanta FaZe Optic Texas elimination round 3.
I just want to point out. Okay, I just want to point out Your elimination round 3 is Optic versus FaZe, all right?
Yeah.
I just want to point out that my winner, I want to say my
Winner
winner
final.
bracket final,
Yeah.
if I can find it.
It's right
Yeah,
there.
my
Yeah.
winner's finals is
It's
Optic
Optic
versus FaZe.
phase. Yeah.
You have them in elimination round 3.
This stage has made no sense to me. So
You know what?
this is why I'm. But it's made all the sense to you. You're going crazy on the
I
pick'ems.
was
So
gonna say, apparently things have been going really.
maybe I'm in the wrong here. I don't know. Highlander has the way. But anyway, I'm gonna keep us going with elimination round 3. Atlanta versus Optic. And as much as this pains me to say,
Oh,
I've got Atlanta taking this one in a 3-1.
Oh, not
Yes.
even in a close one.
Not even a 3. I think it's going to be a close. I think it's going to be a close 3-1. Because there are such thing as close 3-0s. And I think it's going to be a close 3-1. And this is going to be sad for Optic because once again they go 5-0 and they don't make it. But, and this is a little teaser for our champs, I think they get something going for champs. Okay, I'm just going to leave you with that little nugget. Make of it what you will. Continue on, Highlander.
All right, for me, elimination round 3, I have Toronto Ultra versus Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
As I had last, Thieves struggled to get that win, had to go to Game 5 against Minnesota. This was why I have Toronto winning 3-1.
Run out of gas, huh?
I think this is the moment where LA just, they just crumble again after their win at the last major. They just haven't looked the same for some reason.
Yeah,
I think right here they lose it, but again, like you said with Optic, I think the Thieves will refine themselves a little bit again come champs. They always somehow do.
Yep.
They always do. I think them losing here Major 5 early like this will actually benefit them.
Right. That's how I have for Optic too. Early exit, really disappointing. But yeah. Anyway. Ooh.
And then I have Breach versus Subliners in round 3. Oh no. 2 teams again that this is gonna be a battle.
Yeah, it will be.
I'm gonna have this game going to Game 5 as well. I'm gonna back the boys in Boston.
Okay.
On this one.
Sure.
I'm gonna have Boston take out New York.
That's funny.
And what a lot of people would say is a shocker.
Yeah.
I
have Subliners in winners final, and you haven't going out elimination round 3.
Our brackets are so different. It's hilarious.
They are. There's normally not this different.
I just want to point out last time we somehow had it predicted the same finals.
We did.
We just had the loser bracket different.
We did, and I don't even know who we have left that's the same anymore. Anyway. So where are we at here? We are at winners final. Wait, are we at winners final?
No, I think wouldn't it be elimination round 4?
Did I not solidify? Oh, I didn't do my elimination round 3 yet. I'm an idiot.
Oh, what? Wait. Oh, you skipped your second one.
I didn't. I did. Yeah. So I was too caught up in the Atlanta over Optic thing. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so I have Florida versus Toronto here, elimination round 3, and I don't know. I think Toronto gets it done again, in a 3-1. I think Florida runs out of gas here, even though they've been phenomenal. And yeah, so that sets up me for elimination round 4, which I was like, I should have a matchup here. I don't know why it's not highlighted. So once again, we're going to go in the format that the CDL should do: elimination round 4, then winners final, elimination final, then grand final. That's how it should go, but it doesn't because they're dumb. Anyway, I have Atlanta versus Toronto here, and it's going to be a gruesome series. It's going to be a grueler. But with that said, I have, oh my goodness, I still don't even know, and I'm deliberating right now. Let's go first map. Okay, so Atlanta should have the victor. They're going to take map 1. Okay. Search and destroy. Atlanta's going to take that again. So they're up 2-0. Toronto might take the control. Toronto might take the next hard point. Next search. I got phase. Okay, phase 3-2. No. Okay, that was hard. Man, that was really hard. I had to go map by map for that one. That
Yeah,
normally doesn't happen.
That seemed like it was painful for you.
It was, because any of those could go the other way. I mean, who knows? Anyway,
I got Toronto versus Boston in this game.
Yes, you do.
I have Toronto going 3-1, knocking out Boston.
Yeah.
Sad to see Boston go, but Toronto, it just makes sense. Toronto's just, when it comes to this, especially Championship Sunday,
they're Lanimals.
If Toronto's there, they're feeling good.
Yeah. Bring us to winners final, Highlander.
Optic versus phase. This is where my optic versus phase happens.
Yep.
A
little different circumstance here.
Believe it or not, I've got a 3-1 optic or 3-1 phase.
3-1 phase, man. You tricked me.
Yeah, I don't know where I went with that one.
You tricked everyone.
I did. I really
3-1. 3-1 phase. I almost said it too. Yep. 3-1 phase. Wow, so they're moving on to the finals. Love that. Love that for them. I have a Boston Breach New York Subliners winners final.
That happened for me a little bit ago, to be honest.
I don't know what's happening. I'm clueless. But right here, honestly, I see. Oh my gosh, I see the Subliners coming out again. No, I don't. No, I don't. I see Breach. This is
strong.
This is Breach's major. Okay, be with the boy Beans. He's got a 3-1 in the cards against New York.
I was feeling that until he went up against Ultra and elimination round 4 and went, yeah, no, sorry. You know what? I'm going for Beans, but Toronto's just too much.
I have Boston in the grand finals. What am I doing? Anyway, all right. Moving down to elimination final. We've got completely different things. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the same
Subliners Atlanta right now for me. And this is hard. Because typically what happens in these scenarios is, well, I guess not always, because Thieves had that crazy run and then Optic had that crazy run. But normally what happens is that the winner, the person who gets knocked out of winner's final goes on to get back into the grand final to lose again. So, like, that's kind of how things have happened this year. Yeah, not really sure what's going on. But Subliners versus Face. I can't stall enough anymore. So, I think they're going to be really sad about their loss. New York are, and I think Atlanta's going to come in and clean sweep them 3-0. Clean 3-0 out of the boys.
Goodbye, New York.
Goodbye, New York. After that amazing run, I don't think Hydra could continue his dominance. So, your elimination finals.
It's funny that you say what you said because, about the whole winner bracket team or winner final losing and then coming back up. I don't have that happening.
You don't.
I have Toronto winning this 3-2.
3-2.
And that puts me in a wonderful FaZe versus Toronto grand final.
See, now that makes sense.
And honestly, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Feeling a bit wild here of a 4-2.
4-2. It always seems to be a 4-2 this year, But I don't think we've had any other scoreline other than 4-2. Every single major, I'm pretty sure, has always been a 4-2, which is funny.
I just feel like 4-2 is, again, I think Atlanta carries off with another major win.
They get their second major win of the year. Wow, that's crazy. As for me, I have Boston Breach versus the Atlanta FaZe. So we have one team in common in the finals, Atlanta FaZe. And
Boston get here, nobody really knows.
As much as I want to give Boston the win because they've succeeded beyond all odds, all imagination. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Both of these teams were 3-2, I'm pretty sure, going into this. And here we are. I tricked you. I have Boston Breach 4-3. 4-3. Game 7.
All right.
Boston Breach.
So we have JT's fairy tale story over there, and then we have Highlander's realistic bracket.
Yeah, Highlander's realistic bracket.
And then,
Imagine.
your fairy tale.
Imagine I somehow go 3 for 3 with these majors and Boston Breach wins.
If you somehow get this right, I have to do a forfeit, and you make up something that I have to do. Whether it's eat like a hot chip. You have to. That's what I mean. So you know what? If Boston somehow pulls this fairy tale Cinderella story that you made up, I have to do a forfeit of some kind.
Watch Boston go 2 and done, and that's it. And just watch them 2 and done.
You know what? I'm gonna be rooting for that to happen now, and I feel bad because I want them to go far in this tournament, but now I'm gonna be cheering for their downfall, so I don't have to
oh my god,
do something bad.
I can't remember. Did Thieves last major? Did they just coast the winners, or did they drop down? They coasted through, didn't they?
They coasted through the winners. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that has been every single major as well. So, and that's how you and I both have it here, because you have Atlanta FaZe coming from winner. I have Boston coming from winner. We both have winners, which makes sense because that's how the season has gone. Boston Breach doesn't make any sense. But if they somehow find their way here, then all the cards are aligned for them to win, because for some reason, the winners final people have an advantage.
Let's see though. What are we? So yeah, Minnesota's doable.
Yeah, you had Breach going to the winners round too.
As soon as they meet Optic, I just feel.
Well, that's the thing. For me, they don't face Optic.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm not gonna lie, in your bracket, if Florida does get past Optic in that first round, yours makes sense.
Yes. Thank you. That's really the caveat. I mean, Optic need to have a complete collapse in their winners round 1, which they are prone to do, by the way.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's more of in the Scumpy days, though, honestly. That's kind of how that works.
It's against teams like
FaZe, really good. Yeah.
Somehow they usually get FaZe, Toronto, or something like that in the first round, and they get unlucky. Against Florida, I mean, yes, again, Florida has been looking kind of decent recently.
Yeah.
But again, Optic is just. I just feel like you just no. I feel like it just can't happen.
It can't, but I think it will. So
I mean, this is where we're gonna both be crazy when London somehow takes the whole.
Oh my god! Imagine they just play fool to everybody, and they come out in their final boss form, and they just sweep the major.
They just win major 5 and just go on to the sunset. Look, we did it.
Right. We can't go to champs even if we win the whole thing. We're just gonna ruin everything for everyone.
We're just gonna ruin everybody else that wants to make it.
Nasty puts the team on his back. He gets 50 kills in hardpoint. He gets 20 kills in the search and destroys. He gets 36 kills in the control. He is just the man among boys in this major 5. That is the only way that I can see London winning. He has to do that every game, by the way. He needs to average 50, 20, and 36. He needs to average that, okay?
Anyone who just heard me say watch London upset the whole thing, they kind of just threw up in their mouth.
They turned the stream. They turned the video off.
Yeah,
they said that's enough of these wackos. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they did that when you put Florida, or no, not Florida. When you had Boston in the finals, and they already went. Well, this guy has no idea what he's talking about.
This guy is done. Hey, but I've predicted the last 2 majors correctly. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, but listen,
I've done that.
The last 2,
pretty predictable.
Were realistic.
Yeah, they were. They were very predictable.
You went your own.
I went rogue.
You did. Say that again.
I have Atlanta in the final, though. That's not rogue, okay?
Yeah, but you have Boston beating them in the final.
4-3, baby. All right, go over there. Submit your picks, Highlander.
Oh, yeah. Save predictions.
Save predictions. Are you sure? Submit. Yep, submit. Me. Submit. Just so you see, I still have Boston 5-4-3. Okay, I still have that. I didn't change that.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, they're getting a 5th one somehow. And yeah, that's gonna do it. So my predictions are submitted. We're done. I don't feel good about that. But anyway, who knows? This is gonna be the craziest major of all time. This one's gonna go down in the record books. And yeah, so fun time. Yeah,
I want to have another video
sure.
after this major where we go through the bracket and see how close we were, just so you can sit there and look and go, well, this is where I messed up.
I mean, that'll be that'll be in next week's Off the Cuff, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be in just the episode.
Yeah.
So, so look forward to that. Look forward to me telling you all that I'm the best because Boston wins over Atlanta FaZe 4-3. I will tell you that I'm the best, and that will happen.
Watch Boston lose in the first round.
Okay, shut up. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much for watching and hopefully enjoying this video. If you did, feel free to like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch at Off the Cuff Pod, where we go live with our show every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow all of our audio listening sites. That's going to be down in the description below. Our Twitter's down there. Our Discord is down there. So just poke around in the description until you find something that you like and click it. And give us a good old follow there. But until next time, I'm JT, and he's Highlander, and we'll see you in the next video.